Today, I'm so excited to be sitting down with one of my oldest presenter friends. He's dominated possibly every form of radio format there is, from community to national to commercial, even hospital radio. Yeah, that's a thing. He's an award-winning student radio star who's gone on to be the most entertaining person I know, and definitely knows how to get us home on time and in good spirits. From 4Music's Trending Live to hosting at Glastonbury and even dropping it like it's hot on the decks at some of our favourite festivals, I'm so happy to welcome broadcaster and my former lead student radio Lazy Eskimo co-host.
Oh wow!
Yasser!
Yes. You know what? You know what's mad? I've been watching your intros for like years, and I finally get one.
Yay!
I've made it. This is it. This is it.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
I got you. And welcome to the mainstream, Yasser.
Thank you for having us, man. This is nice, isn't it?
It's
This
all
is
right.
cool.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's
She
all
give me like water and stuff, bottled, wasn't pre-opened.
You're
It's all good.
welcome. You're very welcome. Well, like I said, we've known each other a long time. And I'm glad we get to actually talk properly without it being like a 20-second link. So
yeah, no, that's all we have.
commercial radio.
Can't talk.
But as long as I know you, there's still lots of stuff I actually don't know about you and your journey. So I'm really excited to dive in.
Okay, man.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's dive.
Okay,
Let's
good,
dive.
good. Because first things first,
Go on.
what's this I hear about you originally being on CBBC, working at CBBC at the age of 12?
Yeah, did you not know?
Did not know that.
How do you not know this?
I don't know how I don't know
Oh,
that.
right, yeah,
So what
man.
happened? What was that?
Yeah, all right, so remember when like you watched TV when you were a kid watching CBBC and then they'd be like, oh, email in for your shout outs, right?
Okay.
I thought they meant email in if you want to get on TV. Oh yeah, let's go, bro. So I'd email all the time, they'd air me, they'd give me a shout on the TV, then they'd air me, then I just kept messaging, oh, I want to be on TV, And then one day, like, and I'd leave like my dad's mobile number, and then one day, and one of the producers rang my dad. And I was like, what's he been up to? Like, what's he done? And he's like, oh no, we've got this thing that we want him to get involved in. And my dad's like, oh, what's this thing? Like, oh, we're basically looking at different regions in the UK.
Yeah.
And we want to get kids from across the UK to come together and talk about their accents on TV.
Oh, okay.
Would you want to do that? Because you're from Manchester. And my dad's like, yeah, let me ask him. And then my dad's like, what's this about some accents? And I'm like, what did I do? And I'm like, internet's still new at this point. I'm like, what, did I sign up for something or whatever?
Yeah.
And then, I was like, yeah, cool. We organised it. My dad was like, yeah, he'd love to come down. He's always been wanting to get on TV. They then flew me down.
What?
Yeah, they flew me.
A plane?
On an aeroplane. Not private. BBC, innit? Like,
wait,
they're not
from Manchester to where?
From Manchester to London.
What? Why do you need a plane?
I don't know. I think my dad just finessed it. He's like, oh, BBC, is it, yeah? No, my son only wants to get a plane, you know? Like,
That is hilarious.
he was like, train? Do you know who he is? Like, so
Fair.
he was like, yeah. So, yeah, they flew me from Manchester Airport to London. I didn't even realize you can get flights that short. It was like a 20-minute flight.
That's why I asked, because the car is perfectly fine, so is the train, but
My
okay.
dad's like, no, fly me down. Then, yeah, they flew us down. And then I did like live TV on a show called Exchange.
Oh,
Do you
my
remember?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, with that weird like octopusy logo. Yeah. So I did that, and when I did that, I don't know how, but I just started like thinking, right, if I want to get on TV more, I need to chat to these producers. I don't know where.
You was 12.
I was probably about 10 at this point.
Oh,
10,
so
11.
even younger?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was really young at this point. Because then, like, when I was there, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like,
That's amazing.
I don't want to do maths. I don't want to do science. Like, this is sick. And then I remember, like, getting a tour of the studios, and I was just like, right, this producer's the one that got me here. Surely he can get me here again.
Okay.
And then, and then I just, like, and then told my dad, I was like, oh, like, let's stay in touch with this guy. And then I was like, cool. And then I think a couple months later, I then emailed the producer because I had my dad's email, and then I had that producer's email to my dad to like organize all like the travel and all that. Emailed him, I'm like, I really want to get on TV. Can you sort something out? And he goes, oh, actually, yeah, we've got this thing called Backstage Pass, where we send kids behind the scenes to go check out TV shows.
Were working.
I was on it. Son
Wow.
of an immigrant right here. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, how do we get this paper?
Oh,
it
my
wasn't paid.
gosh.
Yeah,
It wasn't paid. To be fair, you was a child.
It's like 11. I think they paid my dad, but it was like,
You'll never know.
I don't know. He bought a new car a few weeks later. I'm like,
That's dad's secret now.
Dad, where'd you get this from? What's happening? You got nice shoes on today. What's happening?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so then they took me down again, and then from there I did that shoot. Then I did another one in Shropshire where I had to I pretended to be like a spy, like a kid spy going behind the scenes. It was all like behind the scenes kind of stuff that I was doing.
But that is
yeah,
goals for like
it
a
was
10-year-old.
mad. Yeah, and I did that regular. I'm talking like every couple of months that I'd do a shoot till I was about 14.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
no.
you were definitely,
I was on it. I was
you
like,
knew what you wanted.
I wanted to get on. Yeah, but then so as soon as I hit 14, I was like, oh, sick. Like Asian parents don't normally let their kids do this. I've got like really
Fair.
cool parents. And then I hit 14 and my dad's like, GCSEs are on the way. You got to stop this.
No.
Yeah, but not in like a malicious way. He was just like, look.
Buckle down, focus on this
he
for
was
a
like,
minute.
let's be realistic, right? He's like,
Okay.
and also at the same time, you got to realize like no one Asian was on TV. You had Connie Hook, and
Yeah,
that was
true.
it. Like think about it, there was no other Asian on TV apart from being a stereotype.
Yeah.
So my dad, like, if you think about it, he was smart. He was like, you're not actually gonna get on TV because that's not what you know. What I mean, presenters don't look like you.
Fair.
So I don't want
Wow.
you to put all your eggs in one basket, and then when it comes to it, you've got no backup.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, yeah, that's true. So then,
That's some real talk for a teenager, boy.
I mean, yeah, we started. That's why we're all doctors, mate. So yeah, and then I put my head down, did uni and all that. Did GCSEs, did college, and then when I got to uni, I think that's when I met you.
Yes.
Shouts to Dan Hills, by the way. He introduced us.
He did.
Do you know what I
Bless
mean? Shouts to
him.
him, man. The richest man I know.
Oh, I guess he's the richest man I know too
Yo,
then.
he's loaded, you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
DJing is doing all right.
Yo.
But no, going back to that.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've had your taste of like the creative industry, I guess, from a very
Yeah,
young age.
yeah.
But you actually studied graphic art and design at uni
And architecture.
and architecture.
Yeah, I did
Yes.
architecture, graphic art.
So
yeah.
where did that come from? Because you was already clearly like TV. You could have done that, no? What happened?
So that's what. So I wanted to do media at uni.
Yeah.
Because like at that time, that was before like YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So it was like
Yes.
if you want to get on TV, you get a degree,
Yeah.
and then you do the profession, innit?
100%.
So if you want to be a doctor, you do medicine, you do the profession. Whatever you want to do, you do the degree and do a profession. So my parents were like, you should do something that's not related to it, because if by the off chance it works, cool, go for it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you don't want to be that guy who's like, you know, my dad was a taxi driver at the time, and he was like, you're going to work long hours. I don't want you to work those kind of long hours.
Oh, bless him.
Do you know what I mean? He was just
Yeah.
trying to look out for me.
Yeah.
And then, so then I did architecture, hated it, absolutely hated it. And then at the end of the course, I did a graphic art and design as well. And then...
So these are two separate courses?
Yeah, two separate courses. So I did first
Okay.
architecture, and then I didn't do very well in architecture.
Oh, okay. We don't talk about that.
You
Don't talk about Bruno.
And then I was like, okay, how do I get a proper degree? And then I did graphic art and design.
Fine.
Blagged it.
That's the one you put on your LinkedIn. Fine.
That's the one. That's the one I got a certificate for.
Nice.
And then, but at the same time is when like, I guess YouTube started, and that's when me and you connected a lot more, because
Definitely.
it was like you get a camera, you can put it on YouTube, and then people watch it.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, you don't have to send it out to an exec.
I mean, I feel like we were still trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to get noticed. Because that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask, actually. Like, did you, after doing uni, did you have a plan of how can I get back into the industry? Like, obviously, because it's not that you took time out, but like you studied
Yeah.
on your GCSEs, you studied your A-levels and uni.
Yeah.
So was there kind of like, oh, how do I get back to that kind of vibe?
Yeah, it was. I think it was also the environment you're in. I was very fortunate, and not to keep name dropping you, but you were part of that friend circle, and there was,
Fair, yeah.
like I'm saying, like it was Dan, and there was all these people in Leeds where I would do my architecture, and then as I'm done, I'd be out in the clubs, not raving, but with the DJs,
Yeah.
and with that circle.
Yeah.
And someone like Dan would be like, okay, instead of just standing there, bro, why don't you get a camera and film something? And I'm like,
Okay.
sick. Then I'd film promo videos for him. Like, I'd just do the filming and he'd go edit. And he would be like, oh, wait, why don't you, like, do something funny at the beginning? Because he goes, you're cracking jokes with all the time.
Yeah.
Let's put that on camera. And then he did a night called Sticky Feet. And he was like, just talk to the people outside. Just
Sick.
chat rubbish. Did that. And then I remember at a time, actually, there was I think it was a club night called Kiss My Teeth.
Oh my gosh,
you
that
remember?
sounds familiar.
So
Why do I feel
so
like I
this
did a
is-
voiceover for that?
You hosted
I
it.
did something
You
for it.
hosted. So I remember, right? It was me, you. It was a guy called James Ignition.
Yeah, James, yeah. DJ Ignition, yeah.
I can never pronounce his surname.
Mushabash. I always remember that. Sorry, just putting his government out there.
Yeah, sorry. Yo.
Sorry, James.
James. And then, so I remember that time T4 wanted a presenter and you applied.
Oh, stop digging up the
No,
old...
we got, because this was...
Yeah, it's true.
You
Everyone
did.
thought I was going to blow.
No, but yo, you got an audition.
I think, yeah, I did get an audition, but it didn't go anywhere past that. But I
You got
genuinely
an audition,
remember those times we all had each other's back.
Proper.
Any content we needed, like,
Fam.
yo, holler at James, holler at Yasser, holler at Dan. We're going to make this bang.
Yo,
like, we were doing content.
That was important though.
Yeah.
I feel that was like, because when
That's
you
what
got...
I mean, we're figuring it out. Like,
figuring it
yeah,
out. And
yeah.
when you got T4, that's when I was
I
like...
didn't get T4.
Shh, you got T4 in it. But that's what made me realize, like, yo, Remel's like, yo, let's 10x this. Let's do it. Let's put everything we got into this because this might actually work. How are like these London execs getting Remel to come down?
I don't even remember how.
It was a sick audition. That's why
It must have been good. I don't know.
But
what
it
I
made me
did.
realize, okay, cool. Like people pay attention. Like this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. Let's just put out more content, more videos on YouTube. And then I started street interviews.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I wanted to go on Blue Peter. And then remember
You did an audition for Blue Peter.
I did.
Yes.
Flopped it. Flopped.
We were young. We were trying, shooting our shot. Clearly.
I forgot it was a kid's show, and he was like, "Have you ever worked with kids before?" I'm like, I've seen kids. Like, they're in.
Never mind.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that kind of brings me back to the point of university. You milked it, like,
Yeah, man.
in the best way possible. Like, so a lot of people don't know that you was pretty much the face of Leeds Student Radio at one point. Because not only did you present numerous shows, from the Lazy Eskimo show that you brought me on, you had your specialist Asian Beats music show as well. And then you went on to win Best Male Presenter and Best Specialist Music Show at the Student Radio Awards, which means you're in the radio world of like all the gods.
Mad. Yeah, like, because they judge it, don't they?
Like literally everyone in radio knows about the Student Radio Awards. Like, it's a big deal. So for you, what was the benefit of signing up and like getting involved with all these like radio stations, like student radio and awards, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think it was more trying to get recognized, isn't it? Like, how do you do it? And I think previously the Best Male Award, I wasn't meant to enter that. I wanted Best Newcomer because I had only done radio for like 6 months, and then I was like, and I think I spoke to my dad, and he was like, I'm entering these. I'm not gonna do Best Male, and he goes, why not? I go, just do it. Why not? It's free, innit? And I was like, it was £10. He's like, I'll give you 10, just do it.
Oh, bless.
So I was just like, I forget, fine, I'll do it.
Your dad's a real one, you know.
Yo, he is, isn't it?
He's a real one.
He was like Project Mbappe, but in the radio world. Do you know what I mean? He's like, that's
Love
my
it.
retirement.
Literally.
But yes, when I entered them awards, I didn't get Best Newcomer, and I was fuming. I was like,
Oh, wow.
"Oh, I flopped it." And then because the Best Male's announced at the end,
Okay.
and then when I got Best Male, I'm like, this is odd. But then as I got that, the execs at Radio 1 got in touch.
No way.
Yeah, and then my agent, who still represents me now, he got in touch.
From
From
back then?
Back then, yeah. From the nomination, he sent me a message. He was like, "Oh, I've seen your stuff.
Oh
Let's
my
chat."
gosh.
Yeah, to this day, he's my only agent. I've only ever worked with him.
I mean, if he's believing in you from then,
from day,
I'm not surprised.
19?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. Like, that's love, right? That's your boy.
Can't leave him, man.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you were on a roll because not only did you win at the Student Radio Awards, you also won Best On-Screen Male and Best Comedy for Presenting Work at your student TV show, Met TV. So how was you able to balance all of these, like by the sounds of it, a degree, being on student radio, student TV, and like also filming content outside of it? How was it like balancing all of that at uni?
Well, the thing is, because I don't drink, innit?
Oh, that helps.
So yeah, so I like hangover and stuff like I don't know.
You're just getting on with it.
I'm just getting on. Every morning I've got energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then going out, I wasn't going out to like club and stuff like that because I felt awkward clubbing, because I didn't like that whole and I wasn't very social. So
What?
I was quite antisocial. Apart from us lot,
Yeah, I'm
our
like,
friend circle.
you're
because
the opposite of antisocial.
it comes across that. But I didn't like going out and meeting people and just chatting to people I don't know. I didn't like that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Unless it was for like with us lot, with our friend group, it was always cool because like you said, we had each other's backs. We'd be hanging out with each other all the time. Like that's your family, innit? But then going out, I just didn't like it. So if I went out, it'd be with the DJ lot, and that would be teaching, so that'd be work. So
Yeah.
I was just constantly on job. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
And then my degree, we don't really talk about that. So I think
You were
that-
just there for the Student Radio Awards.
I was there, and I'm fine. I'll just do whatever this is. Yeah, man. But I didn't really like the studying element of everything as well. So
I hear you.
yeah, man.
Well, you did amazingly in terms of like creating opportunities for yourself. But really specifically, when you left uni and, you know, did you go back to Manchester straight away or
Yeah. I
So
was in Manny for that summer.
right. So what
Yeah.
was the plan in terms of like, because obviously now you live in London full time.
Yeah.
Back then, what was it looking like in terms of how am I going to be a presenter? Like, how can I make this a full-time gig? Like, what was you thinking? What was the plan at the time?
Yeah, that was mad. Yeah. There was no plan, you know.
Really?
Because I stayed on for another year to be president of the uni.
Okay. All right.
Which-
Let me just pick up your little accolade there.
Student politics, you know what I'm saying? So I stayed on to do that, and then which I thought gave me another year to figure stuff out. Didn't figure anything out.
Fine.
And then when I graduated and all that, and then so did the president thing. Then I went home in like June time. 'Cause that's when that job finishes. Went home, and then I had like I did like a week of overnight cover on Capital at the time.
No way.
Yeah, but it was a very like I'd go into the studios, and shout out to Brent for this. I go into the studios and he'd let me come and just mess about. And it was Brent who's
What, live broadcast mess
no,
about?
just to mess about off
okay.
air. Did that off air, and then Brent would like critique and he didn't have to. I was just some random kid just kept emailing Brent. And I was like, okay, cool. Can you just check out my demo? Then you do it. Like, this is good. This isn't. Then you kept checking it out. And then he was like, just do a week of overnights. But I want you to do crunch and roll links. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then he was like, just learn this. Every single song, at the end of it, this is what you're saying. And I did it for a week, and then didn't hear nothing back after that. And then I was like, right, this is it. There's nothing that's gonna happen.
I mean, that's a big deal, especially the fact that you already had interest from Radio 1 off the back of uni. You're now doing overnights on Capital. Like, you were in.
Yeah, you were in, but then there's nothing signed. Do you know what I mean? There's no contract signed. You haven't got a gig.
Okay.
You're just someone. They're like, oh yeah, you're good, and then you've got all these like promises on the table.
Okay, fair.
Do you know what I mean? And in this industry, you get loads of promises all the time.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So I was kind of like, I don't know, there's nothing concrete. So I'm applying for jobs, applying for architecture jobs, applying for like local jobs and stuff. And then I remember I got an email from Bobby Friction, who I'd met about a year or two before. And when I won Best Male, he was on the phone to me saying, oh yeah, try to do this.
That's amazing.
And then as I got a call from Bobby Friction, he was like, Asian Network are looking for someone to do Friday nights.
Okay.
You'd be sick. And then I was like, oh, okay, sure, let's sort it out. Yeah, cool. And then he put me in touch with Mark Stripple, who was the head of Asian Network at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember I was doing one of those, those sales jobs when you like work for charity, but you're on the street trying to stop people.
Oh gosh, yeah, you was one of those.
I was doing that, and then I got a call off this unknown number. I'm like, who the hell's this? And then I went to the side, answered it, and it was Mark. And Mark's like, yeah, we've heard your demo. Oh yeah, so I did a pilot.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I did a pilot.
When did the pilot happen?
The pilot happened like, I think probably like July time maybe.
So at this point it was autumn-y?
Yeah, it's sort of end of August. Yeah, actually no, beginning of July. I did the demo.
Yeah.
And then didn't hear nothing. And then it was end of July, beginning of August when I was doing this job, right? On the streets job.
Okay.
Got a call.
I'm trying to give everyone a perspective of the timeline of the industry.
Oh yeah, it can either happen really quick or really slowly.
Yeah, basically.
So I'd finished uni in June, got a pilot. So this call from Bobby Friction came end of June. Beginning of July, went down to get a pilot.
Yeah.
Did the pilot. I think I flopped that pilot because it was not very good.
Okay.
And then didn't hear nothing. Then I got this job on the street. I was like, all right, cool. Let me just get some money in. And then Mark Stripple then rang me. And then went to the corner, answered the phone. This is Manchester City Centre. Went to the corner, answered the phone. And Mark's like, have you got an agent and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I do. He goes, all right, cool. Can you put me in touch? Because I might have some good news for you. And I'm like, yes, made it. Quit the job there and then.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, keep your papers.
I'm about to be rich.
Yeah. And then, then I went down, and then my agent, I remember going to my agent's office. He used to work for a company called Wise Butter.
Yeah.
Went to see him, and then he was like, I think they're going to offer you something. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, something's about to happen here. This is about to be the big... He goes, you're going to remember this meeting forever.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, look, I've had all these promises for years. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He goes, no, there's too many people backing you, because you had Ben Cooper at the time who was backing me. You had an agent. You had all these people, like you're saying, all these people were backing me, but nothing happened. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went down, went to the BBC cafe, sat down, and he was like, we've got Friday nights. If it's all right with you, we'd like for you to be the presenter.
Oh, my gosh. Of course it's all right with me.
Mate, I was like... And then my agent was like, we'll talk about this and get back to you. In my head, I'm like, flipping confirm this now. And then as soon as I got out, he like shook my hand. He goes, you did it. And I was like, sick. Yeah.
That's a moment.
That was the moment. I went to Burger King and ran my brother. And my brother was like, why are you calling me in my sleep? And then I ran my dad. And my dad was like, yeah, well done. And that was it. And then my agent's like, just moved to London.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like, just do it. Just do what you can do to move to London.
What was the logistics of that? Did you have money to do that? Like how
he was like, get the money together, because do what you got to do.
Wow.
So I don't think I've told anyone this before.
Oh my God.
So what I did was, and I morally might be wrong, but I did it.
Okay, all right.
No, nothing like that. So I carried the Olympic torch.
Yes, I saw that on your. I was deep diving on your
you're
Insta.
Going in. Research, innit? So I carried the Olympic torch because I was president of the uni, and they had like a partnership with the uni. Then I was the first Muslim British Asian to be president of the uni, and it was like quite a big thing for them. Like, so I was like, all right, cool, carry that, and then you get to keep the torch. You pay £100 for it, but you get to keep it, right?
Fair enough.
So I kept that, and then when my agent was like, just try and move to London, because when opportunities come, you got to be there.
Yeah, fair.
And I'm like, you got a point. Spoke to my dad. My dad's like, I can try and give you like some money. Then you give me like £1,000 or something. And then
it's a start.
It's a start, but then I needed money for at least 6 months. I needed rent, that kind of thing. So then I rang one of my mates who let me stay in his place for like £300 for like 4 months, which was very nice of him.
Yeah.
And then I still needed money, so then I sold my car, and then I sold that Olympic torch. Because that's the only thing I had. And I'm like, bro, what's this doing here? Like, it doesn't light. Like, what the
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So then morally, I was like, but it's like I'm meant to give this to my kids, aren't I?
No.
And then
we got to pay the rent. Oh my god.
I sold it, but I sold it to a school.
Okay, that's good.
So I was like, at least there's some.
Was it more than £100?
It was like $2,500, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Yo. Money have
I was
a
like,
lick.
run up my check. Let's go. So yeah, and that helped me move to London, innit?
Clearly. You did the right thing.
I went to a strip club on the way, and I'm joking.
Nah, you did the right thing. That is genius.
But that kept me afloat for a year in London.
Wow, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, because then obviously you've started working on radio, and it's.
But the fee for the show was little. I think it was like £200 a week or something. Like, it wasn't much.
For someone new in the game,
yeah,
it
but
ain't
then
bad.
Rent in London was £180 a week.
Never mind.
So I'm like,
£20.
£20 up. Do you know what I'm saying? Rice and beans.
Well, I mean, it sounds like your agent was pretty integral in your start, which is amazing. So for you, and do you ever give advice to others about getting an agent? Like, what would you say is important about having an agent, or do you need an agent at the start of your career?
I think it depends on who it is. Like, so I had a few agents holler me. It wasn't just the one. Sam was the first one.
Okay.
And then I signed him straight away, as in like, and to be honest, I didn't sign, and this is why I'm still like, we work together. So he didn't sign me. He was like, let's work together.
Okay.
When you make serious money, then I'll sign you. Because he goes, I'm not going to take 15% off 20 quid. Like, that's just stupid. Like, what am I going to do that for? And that's when I was like, oh, this is a real one. And then I have other agents that are like, you should be on T4. And then back in my head, I'm like, T4 just shut down, but sure.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Like, you should be on CBBC. You should be this. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm on that. And then, so then an agent, you only need it if you can't do that work yourself.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agent is like, to me, agent is like a person that has relationships and a contacts book, which you don't have, but you have the talent.
Yeah.
Now you got to bring your talent to the table, so you got to bring your content or do whatever it is, and he's then going to sell that, or she's going to sell that.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're not going to be able to work together, because you can't just sit there and think, right, I got an agent who'll get me work. you're gonna get you nothing.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's amazing.
Give them something to work with.
And you were definitely working like we've established that, you know, from uni straight off the bat, you understood the assignment that content is king.
Yeah.
And again, you were very much making the most of YouTube, Mr. Yasser.
Wow.
You ain't heard that in a while, innit?
No, man. What?
Mr. Yasser was your official YouTube channel, and you weren't afraid to just like do the unthinkable, unquestionable with your pranks, with your comedy content and all that kind of stuff. You're pretty like, much a YouTuber.
You're like Nardwa right now. Do you know what I mean? She's bringing things up where I'm like, yo, we don't talk about those pranks, you know.
The pranks were wild. The pranks were wild.
You know, like at least 4 pranks I couldn't upload.
I was thinking, I can't lie, when I was going through your YouTube, I'm like, there's stuff missing.
A lot of it had to come down.
I'm not because he was pushing it back then. But that's the days when we was watching, like, you know, I guess like Ali G was big back then, and like Phone Jacker and all that kind of stuff was the thing to do for reality TV. So you was very much in that kind of world, I guess, in a sense. But were these intentional things to add to your show reel? Like, was you trying to create content for your show reel, or was you just having a laugh?
Yeah, it was showreel. It was all showreel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it originally started. So the first video I ever made was to make a show reel, and I was like, okay, cool, I need to present to TV. Did it.
Yeah.
And then I was walking, and the lads at Chicken Cottage, I used to go there all the time because I used to work opposite Chicken Cottage at the theatre.
Okay.
So I used to always go.
Oh, I actually remember that theatre and that Chicken Cottage in Leeds, right?
Yeah, in Leeds, New Brigade, right? Yeah. So, and I used to go there, and then Asians in it. We're like, yeah, what you saying, bro? And then as I'm walking past one day filming this, he like waved at me, and I'm like, let me go interview him, innit?
Yeah.
He was the only person I had access to interview was the chicken shop man. And I'm like, let's go, let's interview him.
He's a contributor.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's
I interviewed him, and as I was interviewing him, he didn't speak proper English, and I kept asking about his chicken, and then I was like, is it real chicken? And then he was like, no, it's not. And then, but because he didn't speak proper English.
Oh, no.
And then
I think I remember that video.
Yeah, I just went in, and then I went backstage and just like interviewing the chicken pieces. I don't know, somewhat daft. I was just whatever. And then, and then from there, I put that on Facebook, and it got like 3,000 views. And I'm like, I've only got like 200 friends. Like, what the hell?
No, back then, like Facebook was where you put content and it blew. So
proper.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it definitely makes sense. I mean, I love that you was an early adopter of like the whole YouTube culture, but also you kind of mentioned it earlier, like we did have a kind of little collective of creatives that always work together. So like, how important do you think it is to have a team working with you, thinking up ideas and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, super important. Because like you are going to be whatever your peers are going to do. Does that make sense? Yeah. You are on the religion of your peers. I think that's a quote from Prophet Muhammad, actually.
Okay.
You are on the religion of your peers. So, like, for example, when you got on T4, let's just say you got on T4, that was then fuel for me to make another video.
I get you.
Do you know what I mean? And me making another video was fuel for you to do something else.
100%.
And you doing that was fuel for Dan to go do something else. And then that was it. And then, but it was all love, and it was always like, all right, cool. We're not competition. We're just trying to outwork each other, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you.
In the most friendly way. Mm-hmm. And I think it is super important to get yourself, like, obviously sometimes you can't, maybe you grew up in an area that a lot of people aren't creative, which, to be honest, I grew up in Cheetham Mill in Manchester. No one was creative around there.
Okay.
You're either shot in or you're trying to get to do something daft. Do you know what I mean? That was the only thing around there. So there was none of that. And then when I came to Leeds, I was like, oh, wait, there's people like me here, sick.
Yeah. It was a nice city of just like people that wanted to just enjoy and create. And definitely good vibes out there.
No, it is. I think it's super important. If you surround yourself with people that are on the same goal as you, you're going to all make it.
Definitely.
Or at least one of you will. Yeah.
I love that. Well, you made it, baby.
Making it. My bank account hasn't made it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But we're making it.
Making it. And you definitely took those goals, ran with them, and you went on to present for CBBC, did the CBBC chart show and the playlist. You joined the 4 Music presenter squad, which has seen the likes of Maya Jama, AJ Dudu, and so many other people on Trending Live. And also presenting at Glastonbury. Bro, when I saw that, I'm like, he's gone clear. Like that for me was like, Yasser's doing his thing. So how did you make that transition from obviously doing BBC Asian Network and also doing like One Extra, Radio 1 as well, to then TV. Like, this is the
Yeah.
real deal now with TV.
Yeah.
So how did you make that transition?
I think it was quite hard being on Asian Network to do other things.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure
really?
you like. So the annoying thing about this industry is people kind of treat people based on the color of their skin, and they like to put you in a box. So
Yeah.
if you're brown, you can only do brown media. If you're black, what do you mean you want to get into white media? Stick to your black thing.
Yeah.
And if you're white, you can do everything, but then you can't do the Asian thing because that doesn't sound weird. But you're not gonna want it anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's their attitude.
That's so unfortunate, but yeah, it's true.
And it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And then when I got into radio, especially BBC Radio, it was like Asian Network, One Extra, Radio 1. Oh, you want to mix? Don't be daft. What's wrong with you? There's only one or two that have ever done it. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And me and my agent were like, all right, watch us then.
Love that.
That was our attitude. We're like, we're going to do it. We're going to be on every network there is somehow.
Sick.
And then from Asian Network, I was on... Because Ben Cooper got me on and he was head of Radio 1, it made it a lot easier for me
Fair.
to get on to Radio 1.
Having that
because-
cosign is important, man.
So important. But he only rated he rated obviously what I did, but he rated the hustle.
Okay.
And you could tell he did. And he rated the fact that my dad, he didn't put obstacles in the way, but he made me work to get into radio. He
Okay,
didn't just
fair.
say, all right, fine. He's like, no, you can do architecture and then you're going to get in radio.
Yeah.
And I told Ben Cooper that. Ben Cooper spoke to my dad about it. And he was like, no, let him.
way.
Yeah, he was like, no, he's about to do something big here. Let him do this.
Oh my god.
And that's when my dad was like, all right, cool. So having someone like that back
Yeah.
you was like sick. So then Ben Cooper then got me on Radio 1 doing depths. And then when I did Radio 1, One Extra was around the corner, did One Extra. And then that's when everything else opened up. That's when CBBC, 4Music and
Wow.
Glastonbury and all these other outlets opened up, because then I did become that Asian presenter, which the BBC really tried to make me. Not because there was a particular person doing that, it was the culture of the BBC
Yeah, fair.
to do that. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
the
mean?
black person goes there, the Asian person goes there.
Yeah, and they don't know any other way.
Yeah.
So when I managed to break that stereotype and do that, other people came through as well and started doing
course.
that. And it was like, all right, cool. So I think that's what it was. But it shouts my agent for doing that, because that was his vision. He was like, no, we can. It's not, oh, you stick in there, you stick in there. Because you got the skills, let's do it.
Well done. That
You know what I mean?
that is inspirational right
Yeah.
there. Look, don't box us in, man.
Don't box
You
us
can
in.
do it all.
But the annoying thing was, when it was Asian season or Black History Month,
Not
you managed
Asian
to,
season.
or whatever they call it, masala season, whatever you want to call it, like, but they'd magically find all these presenters. But then when it comes to big gigs,
Yeah.
they're gone. So like, was it Black History Month? AJ Duda and Mo Gilligan did the big breakfast.
Yeah.
But where was that energy outside of that month?
Yeah. Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's
Where
what-
was the energy?
and that's what really pissed me off. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, sick, so I can go on flipping Radio 2 breakfast show and talk about Ramadan, but you're not going to call me for anything else.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
And that's when I was like, all right, cool, we're about to flip this over then. Let's go. Let's actually do it.
Flip it, baby, flip it.
Do
I
you know
love
what I
it.
mean?
I love it. Well, you definitely killed it. And I love the fact that you're multifaceted. So obviously you've got radio, you've got TV, but you're a DJ as well. Which
Yeah.
so you're presenting at Glastonbury wasn't actually your first time at Glastonbury, because you've
No.
DJ'd there before, which is sick. So how important do you think it is as well for broadcasters to have a little DJ side to their
You're a
craft?
DJ as well, you know.
Nah, see, this is the thing about me, yeah.
Depends on
I-
the check.
Well, yeah, but I can DJ, but I don't believe that I am a DJ for others.
Why
So,
though? What do you mean?
I am not your DJ. I am a DJ of my choice.
Got you.
Like, I like what I like.
Yeah.
And that idea of someone, like, you know, we was around DJs all the time.
Mm.
Like, play this for me. No. Like, I'm playing this and then that. I ain't got that.
And that.
That's
You're-
my
You're a
vibe.
shut up and listen DJ.
But I learned to DJ because I thought it's a good skill to have. So do you think it's important for broadcasters to DJ?
Dude, I think you should just learn skills all the time, no matter what it is.
Facts.
Like edit your own videos. I don't like the fact that people sometimes like, unless time wise, obviously I get that. But if you don't know how to edit videos, how are you gonna tell someone else how you want your video done? Do you know what I mean?
true.
I think you should learn every skill yourself. You
That
should
makes
do
sense.
it all. But with DJing, it was all because I was surrounded by DJs. I learned. I was stood next to, like I said, Dan again, for years, just
Yeah.
watching him. Obviously, I'm gonna learn how to do it if I've watched him do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, super important. And then DJing opened up so many avenues for me.
Definitely.
Now that's when I could do specialist presenting. I've DJ mixed on, made DJ mixes for pretty much every radio station in the country.
Amazing.
And that was a way to get my name out of there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus money wise, it's
good money.
Yo.
Like, that's why I actually got into it. Because funnily enough, so we have been praising Dan Hills, who is an incredible DJ, and we used to all work at a part of a night called We Play Vinyl.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. I was a host.
She was sick.
I was a host.
Oli, oli, oli.
Like, all of that, stealing people's bars and everything. But I rated them so much because they strictly played vinyl. Like all of them played vinyl. And I didn't want to DJ because I didn't want to do a disservice, because I thought, if I'm going to DJ, I need to be on those levels. And I was like, I don't have the time to be on those levels. But eventually I was like, do you know what? Music passion will see me through it. But being around DJs, you learn so much. Like, they taught me not to talk during a mix.
Yeah.
Like, don't clang over anything. Like, let it breathe.
Yeah.
Let the tune breathe. Like, I learned so much music passion from being around those guys. So I definitely understand the idea of having the knowledge of DJing can help so much. And
Defo, man.
It's done wonders for you, mate.
It is. No, it is. But, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best DJ at all. No.
I mean, you do your thing.
Not at all. I mean,
You get booked, so that helps.
Apart from promoters, I am the best DJ. Yeah, I am the best DJ if you want to. But no, you're right. But the experience you get with it, like, I've traveled the world with DJing more than presenting.
Damn.
Yeah, I've done some tours. I've done some sick tours with like other DJs. I've DJed in like the beaches of Montenegro. I DJed in Serbia.
What was the occasion?
It was an Exit Festival.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, but I never thought I'd ever end up in Serbia. But I was in Serbia, and then we had a coach from there, and I was DJing on the reggae stage, because obviously I love reggae music.
Amazing.
And like bashment music and stuff. So
Come
I
on,
was
Yasser, tell him.
Yeah, come on. And then I was literally on a tour bus with like 15 guys who've been doing this for like their whole lives, and just sharing stories. And then one of them's talking about his time that he's had with so-and-so artists, and this guy's like, oh, I've just recorded with Collie Buds, and this guy's like,
Oh my God.
I remember when the Wailers did this. And then I was just on a tour bus with Bear Herbs, just going across. I've DJed in Pakistan.
That's amazing.
DJed in America, like, that was all that. So yeah, 100% DJing, you got to do it, man. And
That's
if you're creative, it's part of it. Do you know what I mean?
So your music passion has definitely been noticed, and you actually ended up spending 9 years at the BBC, but then transitioned
Boom.
to Capital Xtra, baby, in 2020. I can't believe that was 2022 or 2021.
21.
Was it 2021?
Yeah. I've been
Are we sure?
18 months. Wait, not this January before. 2022. Oh yeah, 22.
It was 22.
22.
I can't lie, because I thought it was 2021, but when I looked online, everything said 2022.
22.
That's weird, because it feels like you've been there forever.
COVID's just ruined all of our mental health.
Basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, you joined Capital Xtra in 2022 after leaving Radio 1, 1 Extra, Asian Network, which for me sounds like it was a big transition, because for those that don't know, in the radio world, like, BBC is very like, it's a format, like, it's features, and you've entered commercial radio, so very, very different. And I mentioned earlier, you've done everything from like hospital radio to community to students. So for you, what was the difference in moving from the BBC style of radio broadcasting to like Capital Xtra commercial broadcasting?
Yes, very different disciplines. But you have a team at the BBC. You got a producer, assistant producer, all that kind of stuff. Where that extra, especially show I do, it's just me. And then obviously you got support in the station manager and the station producers and execs that are all helping you. But it is essentially you're on your own in the studio.
Yeah.
But I think so. When I moved, it was just so COVID had done. So radio for me had changed quite a lot in those years, because I went from, doing a show where I was the flagship show, and I was doing crazy stunts on radio. I think at one point I was in a Formula One car in Silverstone just doing a radio link, and then we were at like a crocodile pit doing radio, and like
gosh.
I was skiing. Like, my show became really cool in that way, and then all of a sudden Boris did that announcement. Everything stopped.
Yeah.
And then I had to go from that crazy radio to, oh wait, everyone's going through something. You got to there's going to be more people listening to you.
Yeah.
So you got to really like change your whole style and relate to these people. that are going through the madness right now because people are losing loved ones. People, I don't know what's happening. There's no vaccine. There's this thing that's after us.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then I'm still having to go to radio every day. I didn't have one day off.
Yeah, because at this point you was doing Asian Network Drive,
I was doing
right?
Asian Network Drive. And then I was also doing One and One Extra. I think I did a few shows on One Extra, Weekend Breakfast, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
So I was still doing loads of shows.
Oh
But
my
then
gosh.
because my show was in core hours, as they call it, I was seen as essential worker.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah,
We were
and
actually allowed to be outside.
Outside. I was like, thank you. You rate my job that much. I'm essential. And then, yeah, so I would go every single day. And then the discipline of the shows were completely different. And then I was doing this weird, not weird, I'd say, just very basic radio. And then from there, I transitioned to Capital Xtra. So I was used to changing my show format quite a lot.
Fair.
So when I moved to Extra, it didn't feel too alien. It was like, okay, cool. Now I gotta do it this way.
Yeah.
Just as I was before.
Definitely.
And then even doing Extra, a year later, the Queen then died, and I was like, then I got to change it up again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No one. I love that no one knows the pressures of royal deaths. It's so unfortunate, but like stations prepare for this for years. And I remember you was on.
I was on air. You know what? And my producers joked that they were like, Benny was like, she's gonna die when you're on air. I'm like, bro, don't like, because as a presenter, you don't want that pressure.
No one wants that pressure.
Because you got to announce it, and it's like, do you remember in school when you used to do the fire drills?
Yeah.
It's that, but in radio with the royal deaths.
Yeah.
And I've had training at BBC like 3-4 times where the BBC do this thing called orbit training, which is where the whole building shuts down basically and we pretend someone's died and everyone's got to act accordingly. So I was quite used to it already. But yeah, I remember doing my show. Boss walks in, he goes, they're about to announce in the next 3-4 minutes. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I love that. I know this sounds horrible, but it was so funny watching it in the group chat because we've got a Capital Xtra group chat, and everyone was kind of like, "Wow, I think the Queen might die today,"
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Who's on there?
Yeah.
What time? What time you finished? Finished 7, yeah? It's peak."
It was.
Like it looked between 4 and 7. Everyone was like, and I think Omar had just started evenings.
A week before.
So his show got scrapped. Everyone was like, "Oh, poor Omar, man. He doesn't even get to do radio."
Innit?
Like, radio and
Yeah.
royalty,
Crazy.
a whole new ball game.
Mad.
Well done.
Actually mad. I know.
Well done for getting through it.
I forgot. But so I got a call that morning from my producer saying, make sure you're in early today. And I was like,
Yeah. Feeling a bit techie today.
and then put the news on. She's ill. Okay. But yeah. So, but yeah, moving to commercial radio. I think back
Good
to the
segue.
question. I think commercial radio for me, I feel is great. I like global. I really like the way they do things. I really.
I
like
mean,
the way...
you're back. Clearly, your
back.
first ever
What?
overnights on Capital.
Maddest thing, the person that put me on overnights then got me in.
It's what? Look at that.
Be nice to the people on your way up.
Oof. We ain't even got to the top tips yet.
Yo.
Love that.
Yeah, I remember when I was trying to get out of BBC, he was the guy I hollered. And he got me in for a demo. It was a few people, don't get me wrong. There was quite a few people involved with the process.
Of course.
And it was like maybe like 2 years.
What?
Yeah, but
See, these are things I didn't know.
Did you not know?
No.
Yeah, so I'll tell you the whole thing. So, yeah, so as COVID happened, I was like, and then the BBC were changing management. I was like, I'm not sure. Then they were moving a bit booky with a few other presenters. And then a few other presenters left. So, like, Mr.
seemed
Jam,
like-
Yasmin Evans, and then Grimmy left and Annie Mac left. And I was like, what's going
happening?
on?
Yeah.
These are my favourite presenters and my favourite people here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what's happening? And then, yeah, we were like, right, let's plan our exit. Where do you want to go? For me, straight up Capital Xtra. I was like,
Amazing.
Capital or Capital Xtra. Any of them two brands. I love what they do. I love the people that work there because I have friends there.
Yep. Hello, hi. I'm friend.
What's up? And then, yes, then we hollered Greg, who I've known for such a long time.
Oh my gosh. Greg Hughes, right?
Greg Hughes.
He was also lead
LSR.
student radio
Yo.
manager and now is a manager, like major player at Global. Look
Huge.
at that.
Yo, everything connects, man.
Yeah.
You know, on your way up, the things you do and the people you meet, you got to realize everyone's going to elevate
Yeah.
at the same
true.
time. So when you get to the top, So the station manager or the producer you had at student radio or community radio, or if you're like whatever, if you got a podcast and you've hired someone to do your thing and you're both at college, by the time you're 20 years into your careers, you're both going to elevate, unless you did something stupid, you're going to stay, but you're both going to elevate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And that's what I feel like. Even with full music as well, a lot of the people there were people I used to roll with back at uni.
Oh my God.
Made it there.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then Greg went in for a pilot. Was meant to actually do Capital.
Oh.
Yeah, went in for a pilot there, and then we did a few and had really good feedback. And then it was like, I like hip hop and R&B though.
Fair.
And then we did the pilot, and then did pilots for a while. Like
Understandable.
maybe like 3, 4.
Oh, that's quite a lot actually.
Yeah, but there's no slots. You got to think. There's no slots, and also I'm coming from a different discipline. So how do we make me less BBC, more commercial?
Fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that
then
makes sense.
Did that, and then heard nothing for a long time, and then all of a sudden, when it was time to go, got a call, and everything happened really quickly after that.
Yeah, because I remember like the week before they were like, "Someone's new coming. Okay, bye."
I wanted to tell you, man,
I can imagine.
because I was like, Remel's the only, like one of my good friends there. How do I not tell her but tell her? And then
You
I was
just
like,
showed up.
But I was told strictly, yo.
Yeah, the radio world, they keep things tight-lipped for
yeah.
so long. I know.
But then I thought people might clock on because I left BBC.
What, that 3-month window?
And there's that 3 months, which a lot of people didn't clock on. Like,
Sometimes you do clock it.
because
But then sometimes people
Yeah.
don't move on to another station.
they just sort of.
Just do their thing. So, but that 3 months, if someone leaves, give it 3 months.
If the
An announcement's coming.
Yo. Yeah, because I left in September 20 Jan.
Give it 3 months.
3 months.
You'll see.
Yeah, that was.
No, you're smashing it, man. I love hearing
Thanks,
you on the
man.
airways. Like, definitely just bring vibes when it's, that time when you're driving home. It's always good vibes. So well done for everything you've achieved. What is something you wish you knew before you got into the whole broadcasting biz?
That racism's real, man.
Oof.
Racism's real.
Damn.
And it's.
Oh, he's getting
And
comfy.
it's
He's about to
yeah,
speak.
let me spread some knowledge. No, racism in the fact that obviously we know racism there, but is it a day bar goes you got to work 10 times harder than your white peers or something? What's that bar?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes. But like growing up, a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to work 10 times harder
Yeah.
than the other person."
Yeah.
And I think that's real. And I didn't really take that on as much. I was like, yeah, but if I do the same amount, this person will be all right.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting gigs, like when it was like me versus someone else, and they happened to be white, and they'd get it with a quarter of the work I'm putting in, I'm like, what? But I'm on like 3 different TV shows right now, bro. What's wrong with you? Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. My man's literally just come out of whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how is this? Okay, cool. Or like, when it got to a point where, say if I messed up on air, right? I missed the news, for example. Missed the news. Be like, he's a terrible presenter, he missed the news. But then the other guy would do it and be like, oh, classic him. Oh,
That's so
oh, funny. Oh, oopsie. He missed the news. Hilarious. And I'm like, bro, what you mean? Like
this is
and then I
a
realized,
crime.
I was like, bro, okay, because it's different rules for me. It's different rules for you.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that getting into the industry. I was quite like, no, it's not. Things are changing. Things are changing.
Yeah.
Things aren't changing. People just don't say it to your face. I think that's what it is.
That
If
is
I knew.
real. Yeah. I guess it is the be prepared for,
Yeah.
there are going to be challenges. It's a bumpy road. But you have proven, I think it's such a testament of what you said earlier. You've proven that don't let them box you in. You can break those barriers. You can do as many things as you set your sights on. So
Yeah.
and you've done it, man.
Thank you, man. You're
You're still doing it.
it's the cards God's given you, innit? You can't just sit there and complain about the cards. You got to play them. You know what I mean?
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
It sounds like
Ooh.
Yasser is ready to drop some gems
Yo,
because
I should start a meme page. Do you know what I mean?
a meme page.
With all these quotes. Do you know what I mean?
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
But no, this is the part where you get to really give us your top tips for the mainstream. So Yasser, do you have 5 top tips for the mainstream for us?
Ooh, 5. Yeah, let's go. All right. Don't look at other people, because that's just gonna because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what background work they've done.
Yeah.
If you're comparing your career to someone else, it's just always going to be, never do that. Because I'm pretty sure people compare their careers to me and feel really upset. So I don't want to.
Fair enough.
I'm joking. There's that. Invest in yourself, right? Instead of going for like a fancy chicken burger, you could save that up and get yourself a better mic. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I did that quite a bit. Like, invest in yourself is quite important.
That's good.
Like, if you save up 200-300 quid, you can do an acting course online nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's going to go way further than you buying new shoes.
Fair.
Not literally, because shoes will take you further.
I get you. Oh
Did
my
you
gosh.
get as a metaphor to walking?
Here we go. All right. Tip number 3, please.
Tip number 3. Tip number 3, be nice to everyone. Yeah, don't be that prick. Just don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's very clear. I like that.
Yeah, don't be a prick. It's just because I've seen so many pricks that are very talented not get anywhere.
Oh, good point. But then it's even worse when they are a prick and they get somewhere.
But it doesn't last though.
No, really?
It doesn't last.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Who are we talking about?
No, we're not talking about anyone yet.
Who are we talking about?
I'm just saying.
Oh, is it him? Bro, is he?
Tip number 4, Yasser.
Shit, I thought he was quite a nice guy. Tip number 4, be ambitious.
Yes.
Be ambitious. Like get to a point where you think, okay, cool, that's where I want to be, and then be even more ambitious than that, and be slightly. I think it's J. Cole there, right? Be deluded even.
Ooh.
Because even if you don't get that deluded thought, you're gonna get something. Like you're still gonna get something big.
Something big, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Might reach the stars, you might get the moon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dropping bare lyrics. I don't know lyrics. I'm a terrible lyricist.
Sure, that's not a lyric. That's a bit too cheesy for a lyric, but
It probably is somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone said it.
Fifth one.
Tip number 5.
Don't buy followers because people will find out. Have you seen bad people who do nothing? You got bad followers. Like, where'd you?
That's so practical.
No, but get organic reach. Like, I've seen people, and you're like,
Oh, do you know what? This one's going to be a good meme. I like that one. You're going to have Yasser, a picture of him, thumbs up, don't buy followers.
don't buy followers. No, but when I mean by don't buy followers, don't buy the success. Do the hard work yourself, innit?
Yes.
Like, put in the work yourself. Don't try and do shortcuts. If you do shortcuts, it's never going to last. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, that makes perfect sense. And that is your top 5 tips for the mainstream. Woo! Thank you so much, Yasser.
Thank you, man.
I can't lie. I thoroughly love your story. Like, your journey is so beautifully curated. It's so you. And you've definitely made some incredible moves, which I'm still you're definitely inspiring me. So that's what, like you said, back in the day when we was watching each other, like, it's definitely helped us both grow. So
you still do, man. What do you mean?
yeah, we out
Yo,
here, man.
Remel's big inspiration, dude.
We out here, man.
Big
We out
inspiration.
here. Well, let them know where they can follow you, listen to you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. At Hello Yasser everywhere. We don't talk about YouTube no more because some of the videos I have to take down. I'll have to show you. I'll show you.
Show me
I'll send you the private link. Yo, you're gonna be like, this is viral, but my gosh, everyone's gonna think you're not a good person.
He was young.
I was young. Yeah, at Hello Yasser everywhere. Capital Xtra 4 to 7 weekdays.
Okay, that's his sign off. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's perfect. No, honestly, thank you, Yasser, for being on the mainstream. And yeah, that's my boy, man.
There we
Check
go.
him out.